Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we'll go into temporal data. Temporal data means data in time. We will work with date and we will work with time. And for that, we have actually generated data with an LLM that we have some CSV data to work with. First one is actually not the fake data, it's actually the holidays for Sweden. And the second one is for train schedules, and that is fake data. But we will work with how to handle different type of data, a date and timestamp, and how to convert between one format to another format. Because dates and times are super important when working with SQL and working with databases. And as you may notice, is that people write dates and time in different formats. How can you actually do some analytics based on it? You need to make it into a certain format, right? And know how to work with different date time functions in DuckDB. We'll move to Visual Studio Code, and inside of this repo, which I will link in the description, of course, you will find the data set. Here I'm in Visual Studio Code, and you can see my data. I have Sweden holidays and train schedules. Sweden holidays looks like this. We have date, holiday name in English and holiday name in Swedish, and you can see the different dates here. The format looks like this, and the train schedule, we have date time here. We have arrival time, we have departure time, and you also have here, right? This is the data that we will work with. We'll start with ingesting this data. We've opened up a terminal, Command J to open that one, or Control if you're in Windows. And here let's start with make dir SQL, and then we will create a CD SQL. And here I will touch a few files. I want to have ingest time or ingest data.sql. We want to have datetime.sql. We want to have timestamp.sql. These are a few files that I want. ls, you can see ls, you can see the files here, and you can also click it here. CD up to go up back to the root, and now I want to ingest the data into DuckDB database. Let's do that. DuckDB, I will call it temporal.duckdb. And here I will do input redirection, going to SQL and ingest data. Of course, we don't have anything here yet. Actually, I should have written that first before I write the SQL, the terminal command. But no worries, we haven't run it yet. Let's create a schema if not exists. I want the schema to be called staging. This is the landing zone of the data. It's good to have this schema. Create table if not exists. Staging.train schedule. And here I will use the subquery. Select star from read CSV auto. Let's say data/train schedule. .csv, and then I will do semicolon, and I will copy this one, and now it's not train schedules, instead it is Sweden holidays. And let's see what it's called. It's called Sweden holidays.csv. Yeah. And now I will run this command, and now you can see temporal DuckDB has been created. Let's open it up in the UI temporal DuckDB. Let's start with datetime. We'll go into the datetime file, datetime.sql. Let's start with describing this staging.Sweden holidays. Copy this one, paste it here, and you can see, we have column name, date, holiday name in English and holiday name in Swedish, and then we have date. This is the data type. It's called date. You will see later on in the train schedules that it's actually timestamp for that instead of date. And the difference is that date only has the date, while the timestamp has the date and the time as well. Let's start with from Let's check the data from staging.sweden holidays. Note that we cannot just do from holidays because it's in the staging schema, right? I start with this one, and you can see here that we have the dates. Actually, I don't need to show many. I will do limits 5. Now we can see only 5. And you can see here the date is in this format that we have year. We have the date format like this, right? Year dash month dash day. This is the format, just to note that. Now it's time for some date and timestamp operators. What we can do is, for example, addition and subtraction. Select from staging.Sweden holidays. What do we want to select? I want to select the date column. I want to select date plus interval 5 day. Let's see what happens now. You can see here is the date. The original date is 0101, and now we have 0106. We have 0111. We have added 5 days in each of these. And when you have done that, you can also see that, let's see, plus 5 days. And we can take a look into type or plus 5 days. Just to take a look into that one. Let's see, type off. Yes, that was what I meant. What you can see is that when we have added days with the interval here, interval 5 days, and it has become a timestamp, we can do similar thing. I can copy this one and I will do subtraction now. That was addition. Actually, I can do it in the same one here. In the lecture note, I haven't done it in the same one, but it doesn't matter. Now we have date minus 5 days. Here instead of plus, we have minus, right? Minus 5 days. Copy that one. And you can see minus 5 days. It goes back to 2023. Makes sense because it was 5 days before the New Year's Day. Cool. Let's continue. Yeah, we have checked that the new column is a timestamp. We'll take a look into some day functions. We can do select today. And you can see what will happen. Select today, and you can see this is the date for today. For example, we can do a select star from staging.Sweden holidays. Here we get all the holidays and we get the date. We can also add today if we wanted to. We can do like today as today, right? And you can see today is this date. It will, when you do select today only, you will get one row. But if you do it in a query where you have a lot of other rows, then it will be put in each of the row today. For example, if you want to count, we can actually do like this. We do today first, and then we do star. This means we have today, and we have the date for the actual holiday, right? We can do date minus today as time to holiday. Actually, it was, yeah, because these are actually holidays, or we can say time after holidays, since these were holidays in 2024 we've seen. And here we have in 2025, we are like days. Yeah, it makes sense because 365 days in a year, and this is almost 2 years, and it's right. You can see by doing some date calculation, we can see this is how many days have passed, right? And it's negative right now, but you can, of course, make it positive using absolute value. We can, for example, show the weekday. We can select from staging.Sweden holidays. We can find out date. We can take day name or date at weekday, or I can call it weekday. Copy this once, paste it here, and you can see, the weekday was actually Monday, the New Year's Day. And here, this was a Saturday, this is a Friday, etc. All right. Here we pick out weekday. Let's see. Latest from 2 dates. We can do select star from, actually, let me just copy this one. Select, let's see, star, and then here I will have today, and I want to pick out from dates today as later day. Run this one, and you can see, we have the date is this, and today is this, and you can see that later day is today. We can convert the date to string. That is also useful. To do that, we can do, let me just copy this one, convert date to string. Let us just pick out the date, and we will do string f time of dates, comma. Now I want to change it into another format, and the other format you can do like this: %d / %m for month / %capital year for that you get the 4 years, like 4 numbers for the years, as date string, for example. I can show you the documentation where you will find this type of code to make it in the date strings. You can see here we get this formatting string, and you can take a look into type of date string, and you can see that this should be a string, right? Varchar string. Yeah, perfect. Here we have gone from converting date to string, and it's time to go the other way around. We will actually, because I prepped this, I will delete it now. Delete. Now we will go from string back to date time. You have seen string f time. This is similar to Python, right? If you have worked with Python, you will be very familiar with this. So I'll copy this one. I will convert now from string to date. Then we have string f time. We will go from date string, and I will convert it with string p time, the date string, and I will say how the date string is formatted, like d parent %m / %y, right? This is the format of it. This one, I want it to be as a new date. Let's see what will happen here. I'll copy this one and paste it here. There is a comma that I missed, comma here. Run it. Yes. And now you can see, it's actually, I will do type of new date instead. New date, type of new dates. And you can see, it's actually a timestamp, and that you can see it here as well. Like we have the date and we have the time, right? This is a timestamp data type. If you want it to be a date, you can do like this. You can type convert it with colon, date, right? Now we have time, we have converted it back to date. What you do here is you colon dates. That's quite neat. This was what I wanted to show you in the date time. Let's move on to timestamp. For the timestamp, let's create a few more cells here. For the timestamp, we want to start with describing staging.train schedules. Copy this one, describing that one, and you can see train ID, route, schedule interval, actual arrival, departure time, and you can see they're all timestamp. Let's see how they look like from staging.train schedule. And yes, we have here different routes, etc. And you can see scheduled arrival and actual arrival time. Yeah, actual arrival time and departure time. All of them are timestamp. As you saw before, we have the date here and we have the time here. It's timestamp, right? And the other ones you don't need to care much about. Nice. Let's take a look into time difference. Select from staging dots train scheduled. So what do we want to select? Scheduled arrival. I want to select actual arrival. I want to select delay in minutes. See, we can see here delay in minutes, right? Delay in minutes. And I want to do age. Oh, actual arrival, comma, scheduled arrival as delay interval. Let's see how this will look like. Here is quite interesting. You can see scheduled arrival, actual arrival, and then we have delay in minutes. For example, here we have 103, right? This is from the dataset, 103, but we have here 1 hour 43 minutes. This is the delay interval, which we have calculated using this age function. Using this age function, we get the difference in interval between these two. Let's take a look into type of delay interval. Delay, and you can see that they are an interval data type. That is quite interesting. We can select the current local timestamp. These are a few. If you want to see the current timestamp, if I run it again, you will see that it's a little bit different, 48 seconds now and 51, etc. This is a way to find the current timestamp. I'll show you a few functions. Let's continue. I'll go back to from staging dot train scheduled arrival, and I want to have date trunc. This is a truncation of hour for scheduled arrival as scheduled arrival trunc. And you will see what this looks like. Let's copy this one. It's what this does is to truncate a timestamp to specific precision. I want to truncate it to an hour precision. Here you can see we have truncated it that we have, instead of 1404, we have 14, right? And here 753 becomes 7. 1016 becomes 10. What you can do, for example, with the current timestamp also, you can do like here, you can say as current time, and you could, for example, you could date trunc it as well. Date trunc. Let's see, I want to have, for example, minute current time as min. Not found in from. Custom time, not custom time, current time. And you can see, yes, we get this date, we truncate it to the minute 43. If I want to count, I want to pick out the seconds, that we can do also. Second, and you can see 18 here, 18 here. Great, date trunc, very nice. Let me copy this one as well. Oh, actually, a second now. Let's continue. Next, we want to extract subfield of timestamp and show arrival hour in text. This will be quite interesting. And what I want to do is I want to remove this one, select scheduled arrival, and then I want to concatenate, like I want in Swedish, like klockan. Klockan 1, klockan like this. And then I want to concatenate it with extract hour from scheduled arrival. Let's say as scheduled arrival hour. This is quite interesting. Let's see if this works. Copy this one. Onto the tap one. Run this one. Go in here. Ah, that was cool. Look at this. We have picked out the actual hour when it's arriving. And also we have added this klockan before. KL stands for klocka in Swedish, which is the time. Here we have picked this out, this string here, KL dot, and then concatenate it with extract hour. That was quite cool. And finally, this was quite cool. I will just close this down. And now I will make sure to commit and push to GitHub. In this video, we have gone through working with temporal data, both date, data type, and timestamp data type. We worked through both of these and also showed a little bit of interval. You saw that data type as well when we were able to subtract the days from a certain date. And also we converted from date to string using string ftime. We converted from string to date using string ptime. If you have worked with, for example, Python, then these are really quite similar to Python's functions. That is how it works, and I hope that you learned a lot working with dates. There are many more functions within date that are quite nice to work with. For example, you can extract the month, day, and the year. You pick out the weekday, etc. You can do a lot of different calculations. And DuckDB makes it quite nice to work with dates. And I will leave, if you go into my repository, which I leave in the description, there's other resources to DuckDB documentation about temporal data. Make sure that you also read about them and learn more about temporal data, date, and timestamp. That is super nice. And thank you for watching this video. Hope that you learned a lot. See you in the next one. Bye.